What's up guys, it's James here, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking to you about why people hire property managers. I get asked this question pretty often by people that are looking at or interested in managing other people's properties on Airbnb. Is they ask, well James, why would someone hire me? Why would someone hire me to manage a property? What is the reason for that? Why would they bother spending their money hiring a property manager? And I want to share my insight on this as someone who has built a property management company successfully, who's worked with hundreds of students to help them build successful property management companies, and also as a property investor who would be a prime candidate for property management. I want to share my insights on that and share you some detailed insight on why people would hire a property manager. Before I do that though, I want to remind you there is a link in the description down below to a free training, a completely free training where I'm going to walk you through absolutely every step of the process on how to build a successful short-term rental management property business, short-term rental being Airbnb. If you want to manage other people's properties on Airbnb and you want to earn a six-figure income doing it without buying, renting, furnishing any properties at all, then I highly recommend checking out this training. It's going to be really valuable to you. And like I said, I've worked with hundreds of students to help them do this. I've had the luxury of being able to work with thousands of hosts all around the world. So I think this training is going to be really, really valuable for you. I'm going to walk you through the exact process that I developed that helped me go from 0 to 6 figures on Airbnb in just under 12 months. So I highly recommend checking that out. I'm also going to give you some free resources that are going to help you to get started and get your first couple clients. So again, link in the description down below. Make sure that you check that out, register for the training before it's too late. Now, let's talk about why people hire property managers. Now, as an overall reason, if you want just the quick and dirty one, you want to be done with this video, it's to solve problems. But probably that's not what you came to this video for. You probably want a little bit more depth to that. But it is important. It's important to remember that the reason that people hire service providers for pretty much anything is to solve their problems, alleviate their pain points, eliminate their concerns, their challenges, right? You're paying ultimately to just have your problems solved. That's what people want. That's the outcome they want. And so as property managers, it's important to understand what problems it is that we're solving for the specific types of clients that we're working with. And this varies from area to area, from property type to property type, owner type to owner type. You know, it depends what problem is going to be. The type of problem is dependent on the type of owner and all kinds of different factors. If you're working with a real estate investor, they're probably going to have different problems than a vacation home owner, let's say. But ultimately, there's two kind of main categories that these fall into. And one is making more money, and the second is saving them time. Now, for a lot of property owners or property investors, they can work with you as a property manager and help them to make more money because you are going to be the one that's actually spending more time and energy on their listing than they are, and that are going to have more expertise. Now, it's incredibly important that you actually do educate yourself to get that expertise, whether that's going and sifting through a whole bunch of stuff online or jumping into a training program like the one that I offer and that we've got down below. But whatever it is, you need to actually build that skill set. That's obviously an important factor, an important piece. Once you build that skill set to be able to help them improve their performance, understanding things like how to get the right photos for a listing, how to write the right listing headline, how to write the right listing description, how to optimize the listing to get hits on search results, how to make sure that the price is set properly on a listing, all those things, you can optimize the listing way better than they can because most property owners don't take the time and have the resources to be able to do that themselves. So if you do, then you can help them to make more money. And that's a huge benefit because if you can help them to make more money and actually wash out and actually pay for yourself as a property manager, that means that they're going to be not actually making any less money having you manage than not having you manage. And that brings me to the second benefit to them is saving time. And so the number one thing to remember out of all this is if you can build your skill set up enough to be able to help that property owner make enough money that it actually pays for your management. So let's say you have a management fee of 20%. Well, if you can help the property to improve its performance by more than that 20 or 25% that it takes to offset your management fees, suddenly if that means that they're also going to be saving time, now suddenly in the property owner's perspective, they can save time and not have to pay for it, right? They're making the same amount of money as they were when they were doing it themselves, but now someone else is doing it for them basically for free. So that's the real benefit there. And that's why I highly recommend doing something like the training that I offer so that you can actually build up that skill set and be able to provide that kind of value to your clients. Again, really, really recommend it. Check out the link in the description down below to register for a seat in the free training to get you started. Now, all that being said, let's go to number 2 and let's talk about saving time. Now, saving time is going to be a big one for property owners, regardless of whether they're an investor, a vacation home, or whatever it is. And there's different ways you can save them time. And Ultimately, this comes down to things like not having to do guest communication, not having to schedule cleaners, not having to take care of maintenance issues. And it's all stuff that you can take over for them without you actually taking it over for them. What I mean by that is that your business can take it on. You can offer that as a service, but it doesn't mean that you as an individual are going to be the one actually going and cleaning the property by any means, or doing the maintenance or doing the guest communication. You can hire that out, and because you're managing multiple properties, you get economies of scale. So it's way more affordable and way more realistic and worth your while for you as a property manager with, let's say, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 properties to go and do that and outsource that than it is for the property owner to do that with just one property. So that's the really big benefit, is that it's going to save the property owner a whole bunch of time. Now, the third category, honestly, is just headache. And that kind of ties in with time, but a lot of property owners, because they lack the skills to do things properly, it creates headache. So for example, a lot of property owners don't know that there are a whole bunch of different things that you can do to virtually eliminate all parties from happening at your Airbnb. But because the property owner doesn't know that, they end up with parties, they end up with the wrong type of guests, and that creates headache. A lot of property owners don't have the right systems in place to be able to manage maintenance tasks and scheduling cleaners effectively. And because they don't have that, it creates a lot of stress and a lot of headache. They're just not organized enough. They don't have the right systems. Whereas when you come along, you can actually go and implement those systems, implement those strategies, and that means it's not going to be a bunch of headache for you. It's not going to be super time consuming for you, and you get to solve the problem for the property manager, or the property owner, I should say. So that's really what it all boils down to, is helping property owners to make more money, helping them to save time, and helping them to reduce headache. Now, the specifics of it are going to depend on the type of property owner that you're working with, but those are at a high level what people are paying you to do as a property manager and why they want to hire a property manager. That's, from my experience, why I would hire someone to be a property manager, is to help me make more money and help me save more time. Now, for me, knowing obviously how to optimize a property really, really effectively on Airbnb, there's not going to be so much of the actually making more money, but there certainly could be a potential to save me some time. Now, the other big thing to remember is that 99.999% of all property owners who have their properties on Airbnb or otherwise are not even nearly as skilled as someone like myself. So there's, in most cases, a whole lot of opportunity to help them make more money and save way more time than might be the case for someone like myself as an owner who also just happens to specialize in this kind of stuff and have run a property management company in the past very successfully, built it from the ground up. So all that to say that ultimately that's why people hire property managers. And if you want to skill yourself up to be able to do that for other people, to be able to manage other people's properties and make 6 figures a year doing it and do it fully remotely, then I highly recommend you check out the link in the description down below. Access that free training, register, grab yourself a spot before it fills up, before it's too late. Make sure you grab yourself a spot. I've gotten great feedback on this training. People love it. It tends to be really, really helpful. We're going to try to pack it with as much value as possible for you. And we're also going to give you some freebies, some free tools to help you get started, help you kickstart your growth. So again, I highly recommend that you check out the free training, link in the description down below. And if you liked this video, if you got value from it, if you found it insightful, if it answered any questions that you had, then please give it a like, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button. It helps me out tremendously. I'm really trying to grow this channel, trying to get it to get as much traction as possible. So if you want to be a small part of that, then please just give it a thumbs up, hit that like button. I really do appreciate it because it helps me out a lot with YouTube's search algorithm and helping me to grow this channel. And lastly, I know that a bunch of you are still watching this video and haven't subscribed yet. So I don't know what you're waiting for. We post 2 new videos every single week on this channel, and I try to pack as much value into them as possible. So make sure that if you have not hit that subscribe button, just scroll down, take a look at it. If it's not depressed, if it doesn't look like you are already subscribed, then take a second and make sure you hit it so that you do end up subscribed to this channel. You will want to do it. I promise you it's going to be worth your half a second to hit that subscribe button, because I really want to provide as much value to you as possible. I want to stay up to date. I want you to be able to check out the new videos when we post them twice every single week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the new videos release, and I'll see you in the next video. We'll be right back.